Happy Monday. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Daily Dope is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang. Yes, I'm Jeff McAleer, back once again as your host here at The Daily Dope, presented by thegaminggang.com, of which I happen to be the Grand Poobah. So welcome aboard. Today is Monday, March 18th, 2019. This is episode 267 of The Daily Dope. So hopefully everybody had a great weekend. Yes, it's Monday. It's Monday morning. Well, I shouldn't say Monday morning. Monday evening. I'm going to say Monday morning. It's like, I was thinking, I saw a picture today of Lil Bub and looking all like, and it's like, yeah, it's like Bub doesn't like Mondays. But anyway, so I think that's what popped in my head as I was starting to say it's Monday evening. Anyway, tonight I am going to unbox and take a first look at Forum Trajanum from Stronghold Games. This is a ancient Rome game. It is designed by Stefan Feld, who tends to like that subject matter. I believe he's got a few ancient history sort of board games that are out there. My understanding is you're a leader of a Roman colony, and trying to improve your colony as well as be able to send tribute back to the Emperor Trajan. So we'll be taking a look at that in just a little bit. Got quite a good amount of news today. Got some cool news pieces. So I'm going to talk about that as well. Just want to point out that if you have not stopped by to check out the show previously, this is a very, very casual show. I just kind of kick back, talk about tabletop gaming, do some unboxings, do reviews. Once in a while, I'll talk a little bit about pop culture items. But yeah, just like I said, pretty casual. Since this is live, that means there is chat available on YouTube. The chat is not on screen, so it's one of the ways that I keep some of the stranger commenters at bay, but I do pay attention to the chat. So if you'd like to say hello, or you have a question, or maybe there's something about Forum Trajanum you want to get a closer look at, by all means, chime in and I will respond. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you watch some of the Gaming Gang videos on the channel and you like them, consider subscribing. So, and if you do subscribe, be sure to ring that bell, because not only will you be notified when there's a new video, you'll also be notified when the stream goes live. And I go live about 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday, knock on wood. So, although I have to say, I am kind of bouncing around, maybe taking next week off as kind of like spring break. And the reason behind that is because my brother and my sister-in-law and the kids, my niece and nephew, they're probably leaving town. So they usually have me watch the Menagerie of Pets. So it's just a pain driving back and forth a couple times a day at least to make sure the dogs go out and stuff like that. So usually I just stay over there. So we will see. We will see what's happening. I will know more by the end of the week. So, don't know. Anyway, I got some cool stuff coming up this week on the show too, and I'll talk about that in just a bit. But let's pop on into the news. Do want to point out there are folks out there who do not like the tabletop gaming news. If that's the case and you want to just jump ahead to the unboxing, take a look in the show notes below. There are time codes. You can just skip right ahead. Otherwise, let's jump on into the news, because this June, Daily Magic Games has a sweet treat for gamers, and I've got the dope on Chocolatiers. Well, yes. In Chocolatiers, you take on the role of a young chocolatier boxing up chocolates to make a decadent chocolate display. Sharing is caring in the world of chocolates. So while you'll draw 3 chocolates into your hand, you only get to keep 1. Once you have your chocolates, discard them to claim box tiles for your display. Each box tile rewards you with victory points. When boxing chocolates, make sure to select boxes that will fit well in your display, and you'll get bonus points for getting the majority of connected chocolate types. Can't quite make the right connection for majority? That's okay, because as a chocolatier, you have the special ability to craft a wild chocolate that matches with all adjacent chocolate types. Player with the most points at the end will be the winner. Do you have what it takes to become the next world-famous chocolatier? Chocolatiers is a light card drafting game paired with a delightful spatial puzzle. It has a unique and modern theme and colorful and elegant illustrations, and it's friendly to families and newer gamers. Chocolatiers is for 2 to 4 players, ages 8 and up, plays in 20 minutes, and will carry an MSRP of $30 when it arrives on June 12th. Hey, Ghost World is popping in a little early today. So, hey folks, you think this will go over well if I get this for the girlfriend instead of real chocolates on Valentine's Day? Actually, Ghost, I think it would. Of course, now you're going to have to buy it in June and hang on to it until next February. But yeah, actually, most women that I have known, dated, what have you, over the years, they weren't real big on chocolates or flowers, actually, for Valentine's Day. Hey, and Dan from No Enemies Here is popping in. How's it going, Dan? Good to see you. I don't think Dan's joined in live with us before. So anyway, so that's Chocolatiers. That's coming out June 12th, and $30 seems a little bit pricey for what it is. But then again, I only have mock-ups. I did not run across any photographs of the actual game itself, so there might be a little bit more to it than I'm thinking there is. All right, so indie boards and cards. I always want to say indie cards and boards, but it is indie boards and cards. It's going to be reprinting the Japanese game of rock, paper, and scissors, Conflicting Legends. It's coming this May. I've got the dope. Conflicting Legends is an epic war of rock, paper, scissors in which the fate of the world lies in your hands. You will develop civilizations and conquer lands with all of the great people in history at your disposal. Will your name go down in history as a famous emperor or a subjugated loser? It's all determined by rock, paper, scissors. In Conflicting Legends, players may conquer new lands with their forces or develop the lands with culture or technology to gain glory points. Whoever conquers all 6 continents or wins 10 or more glory points will be declared the winner. The key to victory is to attack opponents' lands and resolve the conflict by casting rock, paper, or scissors. With the special abilities of various great people in history, rock, paper, scissors has never been so much fun. Conflicting Legends is a fast-paced, highly interactive, and uniquely strategic card game fought by history's greatest personalities. Play science and culture persona cards to build your empire, or military persona cards to conquer new territories and challenge your opponents. Each card has a unique ability. You'll need to time your attacks to have the best chance of winning. And once again, you've never had so much fun playing rock, paper, scissors. Conflicting Legends is for 3 to 6 players, so it's gonna actually be able to get a few people around the table for this. It's for ages 14 and up. I don't know, 14 and up. It certainly doesn't look like a complex game. It does not look like it's got a bunch of little pieces either. Is it 14 and up because it's conflict related? I don't know. Plays in about 30 to 45 minutes and will carry a nice friendly MSRP of $19.99 when it arrives May 15th. Subjugated Loser. Hey, they know me by my nickname in high school, says Ghost World. That's funny. Hey, that was my radio name back in Saskatchewan. Subjugated Loser. Seems like this could be interesting. Now, originally, this is a Japanese game from... Oh, I'm trying to recall the name. I always want to say like Homunculus, but that's not it. Oh, it's Homo Sapiens Lab. the Japanese game company, this originally came out, I want to say, in 2016. And now Indie Boards and Cards is going to be releasing a new edition. So it looks like everything's pretty much the same from the Japanese edition. But speaking of new editions, this June, Red Raven Games is releasing a second edition of The Ancient World. And I've got the dope. In an ancient world forgotten by time, enormous titans terrorize the land. 5 tribes have been fleeing from the titans for centuries, but things are about to change. Growing city-states pledge to end the reign of terror, determined to take on the titans and make the world a safer place for all. Each city-state competes to attract the tribes, eager for the strength of the combined peoples who are now leaving behind old traditions with the hope that the titans can be defeated once and for all. Yes, remember the titans. In the ancient world, players compete to grow the largest and most influential city-state by managing citizens, treasury, and military, and by defeating titans. Players take turns sending citizens to take special actions or using military cards to attack titans. One of the actions a citizen can perform is to build empire cards, which give more citizens money and abilities. A city-state's influence in the world is measured by sets of tribe banners that it owns. Each empire card has one or more tribe banners, and tribe banners can also be gained by defeating titans. Players gain victory points for sets of tribe banners. After 6 rounds, the player with the most victory points from sets of tribe banners wins. The Ancient World 2nd Edition is for 2 to 4 players. It's for ages 10 and up. Plays in about 90 minutes. Gotta be honest, 10-year-olds don't usually want to sit down for a 90-minute game. So, I don't know. I mean, this doesn't look like it's super complex, but it does carry an MSRP of $59.99. It is going to hit stores in June. This, I got to admit, I am sharing artwork that I think has changed. The artwork I'm sharing is from the 1st edition. I did see there's discussion that Red Raven Games was revamping a lot of the artwork. Although I got to admit, I like the artwork from this. So the only thing that's actually from this edition is the box cover that I'm sharing. But this game seems to have a bit of a, I think it's like card drafting, worker placement, or hand management, worker placement. I like kind of the tableau that you create with the different sections of the city. That does look pretty cool. But I am not familiar with this. I have shared some news from Red Raven Games in the past. I have never gotten on board with them to check it out. Dan from No Enemies here says $59.99 is like 1 million Canadian. Yes, that's right. I remember people used to tell me how packs of cigarettes were like $25 in Canada. Back when I smoked. Don't smoke anymore. Okay, so let's talk about some role-playing game news. Because if you've ever been interested in checking out the Lone Wolf adventure game from Cubicle 7, now is the time to dive in to the RPG system, which is based on Joe Dever's classic books. Here's the dope from Bundle of Holding. Adventurer. This Lone Wolf bundle presents the Lone Wolf adventure game based on the famous Lone Wolf game book series, as I said, by Joe Dever. This tabletop adventure game from Cubicle 7 Entertainment makes you a Kai Lord warrior monk defending the world of Morgamund against the Dark Lords of Helgadad. I think it's Helgadad. Don't know. Needed a sip. Lone Wolf's Initiate level game is especially suited for novices and young role players. Experienced gamers can raise the complexity with the Master level game. Epic quests, thrilling combat, and dangerous adventure lie ahead. This new offer presents almost the entire Lone Wolf adventure game line for an unbeatable bargain price. Honestly, I think the only thing missing, I thought when I peeked at this, I think it's like the GM screen. But for just $14.95, you get all 4 titles in the starter collection, which has a retail value of $69, as DRM-free PDF ebooks, including the complete full-color Lone Wolf adventure game core rulebook, the Heroes of Magnamund, I should say, expanded character handbook, the full color bestiary, Magnamund Menagerie, and oh yeah, the narrator's screen PDF. If you pay more than the threshold price of $29, you'll level up and also get the entire bonus collection with 4 more supplements worth an additional $75, including the Realm of Summerland setting book, Bestiary of the Beyond, more monsters of course, the full-length campaign Terror of the Dark Lords, and the 3-scenario collection Adventures of the Kai. And the adventure continues. With your purchase, you'll also receive a 25% discount code good for purchases of print copies of Lone Wolf Adventure Game products and the Lone Wolf Adventure Game dice at the Cubicle 7 web store. Plus, 10% of your payment after payment gateway fees will be donated to this offer's designated charity, Doctors Without Borders. So right now, you've got 2 weeks left to take advantage of this bundle of holding special. I reviewed the original box, the starter box that came out. I thought this was pretty good. I thought this was a really nice role-playing game to introduce younger players to role-playing games, because it does have kind of a basic level that you start off with, and then you kind of just add different kind of modules into it to make it a little crunchier as you go. But $29 for just about everything from the Lone Wolf Adventure Game role-playing system. It's pretty sweet. I think the only thing that's missing, I thought for a second maybe it was a GM screen, but I guess it's not. I think it's like the quick starter PDF is probably the only thing that's missing. Unfortunately, Joe Deaver passed away a couple of years ago, and I don't know if Cubicle 7's really doing much more with the Lone Wolf game. I don't know, because they were releasing some stuff pretty regularly, and then things have gotten a little quiet. So, don't know. All right, so my final news piece is about an interesting looking old school role-playing release, which is absolutely free in PDF. That's right, it's free. And I've got the dope on White Box Eastern Adventures from Tasaka Games. Welcome to the days of old, to a time when adventurers were ordinary people who took up this dangerous calling to accumulate hoards of treasure from monster-filled dungeons. Yeah, that's old school. But be warned, adventuring is truly a dangerous profession here. Dungeons are filled with deadly traps and even deadlier monsters. Most adventurers will perish on their first few adventures. Those that survive have learnt the importance of knowing when to fight, when to run, and when to rely on hirelings to get the job done. Take a step forward if you dare and enter a world of exotic dragons, talking cats, and hungry ghosts with unending appetites. Take a step forward and enter the world of White Box Eastern Adventures. White Box Eastern Adventures is based on the simple and creative gameplay mechanics of the first incarnation of the, quote, world's most famous role-playing game. What could it be? Open game license? This game is set in a world inspired by Japanese mythology and folklore, a setting where social status and prestige are just as important as treasure and gold. Thus, the goal of adventuring is more than accumulating wealth. It's also about gaining merit and honor in a status-conscious society. White Box Eastern Adventures clocks in at 126 pages. It is available absolutely free in PDF from Drive-Thru RPG. I personally downloaded it earlier today to take a look at. All right, so looks like we've suddenly hit that kind of oddball streaming where it jumps up and drops down, jumps up, drops down. So we shall see what exactly happens here. Looks like it might be clearing up again. I don't know. This comes out of the blue every once in a while, so I am not sure what might be happening. I'm not sure if chat has cut out on me again, so I don't know. Last thing I've seen is $59.99 is like 1 million Canadian, so I'm not sure if that's the last thing that was mentioned or not. Because I noticed the other day chat dropped off on me right when we hit that little spike again. And I thought, oh, well, I guess everybody just clammed up or left. So anyway, so yeah, White Box Eastern Adventures looks kind of cool. I was always okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so chat's still working. Thank you, gents, for letting me know. It's like I'm still here. Nope, we're here. Multitasking. Yeah, I'm multitasking too because I'm kind of keeping an eye on Pinky out of the corner of my eye here. She's roaming. Never see her, but she's roaming. Hopefully she doesn't get real chatty all of a sudden, because sometimes she starts caterwauling and it's like, shh, quiet. But yeah, this looks pretty cool. And I gotta say, I was always a big fan of Bushido, which was that was FGU, if I remember right. I had Bushido. Ugh, I always think of all the old school role-playing games that I had. If I had hung on to that stuff, it'd be worth some scratch. So, anyway, I am going to get into the unboxing of Forum Trajanum in just a moment. So, what's cooking on this week's shows? So, I got a couple of items today. I shouldn't say a couple of items. I got a couple of boxes today. So, on tomorrow's show, I'm a huge baseball fan. I love baseball. I am a massive Cubs fan. Have been my entire life. Well, okay, not my entire life. I became a baseball fan when I was 11. So I have been a baseball fanatic for 40 years. And I'm pretty well versed in my baseball history in that. So there is a game which I am not familiar with. I guess it's been out for a few years, and it's called Clutch Baseball. So the folks over at Clutch Baseball, funny enough, on Twitter, somebody had mentioned something about, or somebody had retweeted that the 2019 Clutch Baseball was like on pre-order or something. And I was like, huh, what's that? So I popped over, took a peek, and I was like, hey, hockey is greater than baseball any day of the week. And I am a hockey fan, but no. No. Not even close in popularity. No. Ghost is like, hey, quit picking on me, man. But anyway, so I said, hey, that looks kind of like an interesting game. Too bad there I don't see any real, like, reviews for it. There were, like, Bob P says, could be anything. So the folks over at Clutch Baseball were like, hey, can we send you some stuff? And I said, sure. So they sent me 3 of these one-player starter sets. They're not identical. So it looks like there's 50 cards in here. And from what I looked at, because I'll take a peek at the boxes. When I do an unboxing, I don't crack the box open, but I'll look at it. Looks like there are 3 pre-made teams because this is a trading card game. And it looks like I probably got copies of 3 different, the 3 different teams. So who do I root for in hockey? Blackhawks. Yes, it has not been good the past couple of years, and they're not making the playoffs. They're not going to make it. They're, 5 points out with 10 games to go, and 4 teams in the mix? No, ain't happening. So anyway, tomorrow we're going to look at these, and they also sent along, some boosters. So Clutch 42, I'm going to have to take a guess that this is probably Negro Leagues. Just taking a guess, this might be Negro League players. This is just black, so I have no idea what could be in that. And then this says Generations. This is Generations booster pack. So I'm going to take a guess. This is probably maybe not Hall of Famers, but probably famous players from baseball history. So I am looking forward to checking this out. Although I have to admit, when I saw Stan Mikita, of course I remember Stan Mikita. I met Stan Mikita. I was going to say, I was hoping that this would be like, oh, wow, you get boosters in here and you open them up and that's your team. But I guess it's just pre-made teams. So, well, I guess, it's to get you to learn how to play. So we're going to look at those starter sets and these boosters. That's on tomorrow's show. So if you were watching last week, you know that Lost Battalion Games had reached out and said, hey, we apologize for the kind of mix-up years ago at Origins Game Fair about not sending stuff to check out. So I got the box from Lost Battalion with a lot of Sergeant stuff. So on Wednesday, we're not going to look at all of this stuff, but we're going to look at some. So I am going to unbox and take a first look at Red Devils. This is a core set for Sergeants, and the miniatures are all pre-painted already. The big deal, if I remember correctly, the big deal with Sergeants is every one of the soldiers, you get a card for them, and they are unique. So there are no two names that are the same. So for an example, if they made 1 million miniatures, they were going to have 1 million different names. So that was one of the big things here. So I'm going to look at Red Devils, and I got 2 boxes here that I have no idea what's in them. They look like this. I'm assuming these are more pre-painted miniatures. So we're going to look at that on Wednesday for Wargame Wednesday. I also got a Normandy expansion. So a gun battery expansion here. And then Operation Tonga, which is an expansion as well. And it's the next chapter for the Red Devils. So this is it's basically Red Devils. Now I know that that one set, that when Sergeants originally came out, I want to say it was the U.S. and Germans. So, but this is this obviously the Red Devils. It's going to be the UK. So we will start looking at some of that stuff on Wednesday's show. Then on Thursday, I will be reviewing The Laughter of Dragons. Yes, for the One Ring role-playing game. This is from my pals over at Cubicle 7 Entertainment. So I will have a review of that on Thursday. Friday, I'm up in the air. Friday, I'm not positive what I'm going to do yet. One of the reasons why I say that is because I had an opportunity to do a little bit of gaming, not much, just a little bit, this weekend. We did get to play a little Kanban, which is that production line, like automotive production line game from Stronghold Games that I did an unboxing of last Monday. Only got 1 game in, and I have an impression, I don't think we were playing it exactly right. So can't do a review of that yet, because I always point out I play 3 times before I do a review. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. Who knows? Maybe some RPG stuff. Everybody knows I love RPGs. Maybe a special war game look. I don't know. We'll find out. So, Ghost World knows what time it is. That's right. Ghost World knows. Lil Whizbub's coming down. Yes, that's right. Lil Whizbub's coming down to remind you that if you enjoy the Daily Dope, if you like thegaminggang.com, by all means, please consider making a small donation to Lil Bub's big fund at the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. Yes, since this fund started about 6-7 years ago, they have raised $500,000 that has been granted out to organizations that care for special needs animals who are awaiting adoption or awaiting their forever homes, I guess we'll say. So everybody knows I am a big animal fan. Let me put little Whizbub back. It's a Bub's life. Oh, okay, wait. So Ghost World is saying, because Ghost likes to do a bub thing every show. It's usually a movie with a little bub reference. So instead of a Bug's life, I see it's a Bub's life. Sweet. As I opened the show, I mentioned that there was a picture that the dude, Lil Bub's owner, shared of her this morning where she's looking all like pissed. It's sort of like, yeah, it's Monday. So I thought that was kind of funny because I have yet to ever see this cat not, well, okay, I've seen the cat take a bath that it wasn't too happy with. But usually Lil Bub is a pretty sweet cat who has all these weird genetic defects, but is still just cute as hell and sweet as possible. So anyway, I do want to point out that if you do make a small donation, just shoot me an email. You can see that my email address is right down there in the corner. Just let me know. You don't have to prove it or anything. Just let me know, and that way, if you do, I will give you a special shout out on the following show. All right, so let's move along to our unboxing. because I'm going to be taking a look at Forum Trajanum from Stronghold Games. It's designed by Stefan Feld with artwork, or Stefan, I should say, artwork, with artwork provided by Michael Menzel. The game is for 2 to 4 players, ages 12 and up, plays in around 60 to 120 minutes. Does carry an MSRP of $69.95. Ghost World is asking, how old is Lil Bub? I believe Lil Bub is 7 years old. I believe, yeah, I'm pretty sure 7. So it's funny because they originally didn't think that cat was going to live very long. So she has had a good, nice, long run. All right, so this is Forum Trajanum here. I'm going to put my reading specs on. And let's get rid of the shrink on this first off. So once again, if you saw my review of The Boldest from Stronghold Games, which I enjoyed. I think it's a good game. I mean, it's not like earth-shattering or anything like that, but we really did enjoy it. And it's got some really cool artwork, but it's really just cards. And, you know, some, like card stock, like player boards and stuff like that. And I had mentioned, hey, that's $80 for the MSRP. And this is actually $69.99. All right, so Dan's got to get going. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Dan. Enjoy the rest of your night. So anyway, it was kind of like, that what's going on with the MSRP over at Stronghold? Because this is a $70 game, which we can see this is going to have a lot of stuff. This box is relatively heavy, so pretty cool. So it says this is for ages 12 to 99. Okay, all right. So taking a look at the back here. It says, Emperor Trajan plans to have a monument built for eternity. Forum Trajanum. It is to become the biggest and most glorious Emperor's Forum that the Roman Empire has ever seen, showing not only his success, but also fostering the well-being of the citizens of Rome. In the Forum Trajanum, each player governs a colonia, which is a city outside the capital, founded by Trajan himself. Thus, you are the head of one of the highest-ranking cities in the Roman Empire. While the players try to develop their own colonia, they should not fail in supporting the building of Forum Trajanum as well. Each round, you strive to reveal the best building sites in your own colonia, gaining resources and abilities through special citizens. You carry out building actions in order to get victory points and benefits. The player who has been the most productive and well revered by the Roman Empire when their term of office ends will be admitted to the inner circle of the illustrious personalities at the Emperor's side. Ooh. So let's flip this on over, get this opened up. I do want to point out, I did notice that there were some Essen promo cards that were available for Forum Trajanum. So that's kind of interesting. So let's see. So we've got French, English, French. Okay, so multi-language. So we're going to see French and English. So there are, these look like little player aids. So there are 2 of each. And we got the rules here. Let's pop on into the rule book. And you know what? We'll zoom in a little bit. Get a little closer look at this. Okay, so we're showing the setup. Showing us the game board. The various different, looks like we've got different meeples. Coins, building tiles, colonia tiles, player boards here. Okay. Okay, so funny enough, I saw somebody had tweeted that they were actually doing a live play of Forum Trajanum tonight at the same exact time that I start the show. I was like, well, that's kind of odd, right? I mean, that's a little unusual. I mean, I'm not saying it's like, oh wow, it's, you know, kind of strange that that both, and I don't honestly have an idea who it was. It wasn't, somebody had retweeted it and I saw it. It's not somebody I follow or anything like that. But I thought it was kind of funny. I mean, at the exact same time, that's a little unusual. All right, so we've got the course of the game, resources available. Looks like we've got a good amount of rules here. This might have some heft to it, have some meat to it. The Colonia tiles, construction, building, single building tiles, double building tiles. Benefits for colored structures. Okay. Citizen special abilities. So we got some patricians, merchants, craftsmen. End of the cycle scoring phase. Okay, showing first cycle, second cycle, third cycle. Beginning a new cycle. Ending the game. The game ends after the scoring phase of the third cycle, i.e., after 12 rounds. So I guess each cycle will have 4 rounds. Most victory points wins. In case of a tie, player who has the most active citizens in his colonia wins. If it's still a tie, the player who has the most resources left wins. And if there is a tie even then you have to have a knife fight. Now it just says players share the victory. So this is mixed player groups. For advanced players who play with a group that includes beginners, it's also possible to play with a little handicap. In this case, the beginners start with 1 extra coin and 2 active citizens. That is, they have 2 special abilities from the beginning. Hey, cool. I always like something like that where it's not going to completely throw the game out of whack, but if you can tweak a little something to give once somebody knows how to play the game, when they got newbies coming on board. Okay, so it's 16 pages because the rest is in French. We get the rules again in French. All right, so that's not so bad. 16 pages, but this still looks like there's probably I don't want to say crunch, but looks like there might be a little heavy mental lifting involved here. So pretty sweet, pretty nice. All right, so this looks like this is the game board. Yep, this is the game board here. Or at least, I should say this is the Forum Trajanum board, maybe? Yeah, so let me zoom back out so we can get a better look at this. There we go. Okay, so we see there's a victory point track. It's going to start here, and it goes all the way around. That's kind of neat. So it goes all the way around here and back to your 299. So we've got this. That looks like this is an area for possibly tokens or maybe meeples. So we've got cards that are going to go here. Once again, we've got the cycles. I'm taking a guess. Cycle 1, Cycle 2, Cycle 3, maybe? Looks like we got some cards that are going to lay over here. Looks like we got that there. So so this is, I would say that this is the forum board. So pretty nice. Good quality stock. And I always like when you see stuff where it's like, oh, look. There's actually something on the back. It's Forum Trajanum. Sweet. That's cool. So Ghost says, yeah, perhaps it would also be cool to do a sort of 2-on-1 game with that handicap. Yeah, possibly. That's very possible as well. Although I gotta admit, I think it's every player for themselves. I don't believe there's any sort of cooperative aspect to this. All right, so these are the player boards is my guess. Yep. So, okay, so we got, wow. This is a really long punch board. Okay, so looks like this is the player board here. So let's do this. So I have the player board here. Let's zoom in just a wee bit here. Get a better look at this. There we go. So this is the Colonia. Looks like, okay, kind of some information here. This looks like this might be language independent. I'm not positive yet, though. We will find out as we look at the cards, because I know there are cards in here. Okay, so then we've got some pretty large tiles here. Some smaller tiles. These tokens here, and then we're going to have more tokens. Of course, these are dual-sided, including the player board is dual-sided. So I'm guessing maybe this is for a 2-player? Let's see, what does the other one show? No, it shows the same exact thing. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's it. Maybe it is the same exact thing. Maybe it's just dual-sided, so hey, just, punch it out and go to town, right? So we've got all of these counters here. Looks like these start off where this is the backing, and these are face down. Yeah, maybe not. They're all kind of the same thing, so maybe not. Maybe that is not the case. So it's like each player is probably going to have a punch board like this. Let's see. So we got 1. We got 2. We got 3. We got more counters here. So we got those. So this would be the 3rd board. Or I should say 2nd player board. This is the 3rd player board. Ah, there we go. I was going to say, wait a second. We're out of punch boards. What's going on here? It's for 2 to 4 players. We're running out. So we've got 2 of the player boards on this punch board, plus looks like some different tokens here. Oh yeah, I guess these are your citizens who have like the special abilities. Well, that's cool. So I guess they probably do go face down like this, and then when you get them, then the special ability they have is revealed. So Ghost was asking, what are we building exactly? So we are building basically a city. That's the Colonia here, like colony. I think the word colony comes from Colonia, and so that's what you're doing here. While you're also kicking in towards the forum here. So I think each of the players is also ending up where they have to do stuff on this main board as well. So we've got that. Okay, so we got lots of punch boards. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff. I figured there was going to be a lot of stuff in this box. Okay, so we've got a bunch of different meeples here. They're different style, too. So let's take a look. So we've got, like so. Let's get that out of the way so you can actually see that. You can make that out. So you see it against the background. So we've got that style there, and then we got just like so. Not wearing a hat. So we've got that, or helmet, whatever that may be. We've got something like this. Well, that's kind of cool. So we've got that. So we got 1, 2, 3. I wonder if these mark the cycles that you're in. The three eras or whatever, the 3 cycles I think they were. So yeah, so we got meeples without hats or helmets, and then we've got meeples that do have the headgear. So we got that. We've got all that, and then it looks like we've got some cards. So let's take a look at what these cards are. Not a big deck. And hey, we're in luck. Came right off there. Okay, so let's have 3 on the back, 2 on the back. Let's see. Got one. Okay, and then we've got these cards here with this backing. Is that all of them? Okay, so that's the rest of this deck here. So I'm guessing, I will zoom back in for this. So I'm taking a stab in the dark that these are probably going to be different different sections of the forum that you can build. So we got like the amphitheater. That looks like a bridge. Ship. Lighthouse. Looks like there's 2 cards of each. Got Legionnaires. Pantheon. Quadriga! There we go. Got a little chariot racing going on. Bust out some Ben-Hur action. It's like a pool. Or, I think that was for bathing, if I remember right. Which is one of the reasons why Romans weren't exactly the healthiest people around. Because they all bathed in, like, you know, group settings and stuff like that. And if somebody was sick or something like that, it didn't matter. They still went to the baths. So an arch there. Looks like almost like a watchtower. And Romulus and Remus. There we go. All right, so that's kind of cool. So we've got that. Then we've got these different. There's only 4 cards. So I wonder if each of the players maybe gets one of these, or maybe one of these is selected and it's something that's going on during that cycle. I'm taking a guess that's probably what it is. Probably select one of these randomly, and then that's placed on the board, showing whatever this stuff all represents, right? Because I have no clue. We just looked at the rules. We didn't read the rules. All right, and then we got the second. Same kind of thing, 4 more cards. And then we've got the third, 4 more cards. Interesting. Yeah, cool. All right, so we've got the cards. We've got the meeples. We got a bunch of bags, a bunch of baggies there for all of our tokens that we're going to be utilizing there, because there are a lot of them. Let's put all this back in. So we've got all the counters, we've got the player aids, we've got the game board, and we've got the rules in both English and in French. And that's what we find when we take everything from Forum Trajanum outside the box. I will have a review of this hopefully within a couple of weeks. Hey, Vinyl Rabbit popped in. Hey, Vinyl Rabbit, good to see you. Just as I'm wrapping the show up. So, but I should have a review 2-3 weeks is what I'm guessing. But this looks pretty interesting. There's no conflict going on or anything like that, but it's kind of you're building a city as you're also trying to pay tribute to the emperor and help build the forum. So that looks kind of cool. Pretty cool. Anyway, as I mentioned, Forum Trajanum is from Stronghold Games, designed by Stefan Feld with artwork provided by Michael Menzel. Game is for 2 to 4 players, ages 12 and up, plays it around 60 to 120 minutes, hour to 2 hours. It does carry an MSRP of $69.95. Do want to point out, I have seen this online for as low as $50. So just point that out. I know people get upset when I mention online shopping. I don't actually tell you who to go to or anything like that. But if that $20 is important to stay in your pocket, you might look at an online retailer. So Vinyl, I like to use some rules from the English version of the rules and some rules for the French version. Really? I wonder if that's, sorry, you pulling my leg there, Vinyl Rabbit? Or is there something that you know about this game that I don't? Wouldn't you think the English and the French would be the same? Anyway, I think my leg is being pulled. So, all right. Anyway, yes, there you go. Just joking. I thought so. Hey, you never know, though. I will have people pop in here who are very knowledgeable about different games or different companies, and right away they're like, "Oh no, let me point this out to you," and I'm like, "Okay, all right. Well, I didn't know that. Now I do." Anyway, so on tomorrow's show, as I mentioned, we're gonna look at a few of these starter sets for Clutch Baseball. So just in time for opening day, I'm going to get this reviewed too. So, as I like to point out, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. By now you know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. And be sure to tell a friend about both thegaminggang.com as well as the Daily Dope, or the Gaming Gang YouTube channel. So that is it for tonight's show. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Thanks for joining me in chat as well. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Thanks again for watching The Daily Dope, presented by The Gaming Gang. If you like this episode, be sure to give it a quick thumbs up. And if you dig the channel, please subscribe. If you'd like to check out our previous episode, click right here. And if you want to check out a somewhat randomly selected episode, give a click right down here. It'll be like opening a box of Cracker Jacks. You just don't know what you'll get. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'm Jeff McAleer.